Ahoy there, YouTube! Today I'm reintroducing my 1986 Tercel, and not that one, this one. As I was saying earlier, I'm reintroducing this car to the channel. It's been a long time since I've done anything with it. If you guys have been watching my videos since literally day one, you probably saw a couple of videos of me doing a walk around with this when I first got it. Background on this car is a friend got sent a picture with an approximate location as to where these were. So we searched and searched and searched on Google Satellite View until we actually finally found the address, and then convoyed over there and knocked on the guy's door and were greeted with a smile and purchased these two Tercel wagons at a very, very reasonable price. This is the one that I got out of it. It is a 1986. It had a burned up transmission, and this is actually the input shaft from that exact transmission. So you can see it's well cooked, but it had a new engine, or a newer looking engine in it from a junkyard. I don't exactly know much of the history other than I know this car did live most of its life in Arizona. There's a couple little body imperfections with it, but nothing really super crazy. All in all, the car's in very good shape. There's really not a lot of rust or anything going on with it. Here's kind of an underside shot of it. It's been sitting in the gravel part of my driveway, which is probably really not good for it, but all in all, it's not looking too bad. There's a little bit of surface rust right there and stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing cleaned up and get everything looking nice again and get her back together soon. So here's a quick shot of the interior. I'm going to replace this seat with a nicer one that I have that's not blown out. Everything's in pretty decent shape. The odometer reads 139, but I know that's actually not accurate. It's got a cheap aftermarket radio in here that's got a cassette adapter. Very early 90s radio. So I'm going to swap that out with probably a factory radio, or maybe one that does Bluetooth. But all in all, the thing's in really not too shabby a shape. It's got a pile of parts stashed back here. I'm going to have to go through and get organized and see what I need and don't need and get taken care of. But it will be a project for some time soon. Wonder, here's the engine bay shot. This is really the only major issues that I'm gonna have to address sometime soon. It sat underneath a pine tree for about 10 years, and it really did wonders to the hood and the top of this car. I think a lot of this stuff up here on the roof will clean up okay with a quick wash. We give it a quick spit shine right there, and you can see how that came out. So I think if I do that to a lot of the top, a lot of this junk and garbage will clean off. So we'll wash her sometime soon once it's a wee bit warmer outside. Here is the engine bay shot. If I can figure out how to open the hood up. So here's the engine bay shot. All in all, it looks pretty decent inside of here. There's some undercoating that's come off. There's some fiberglass down there. I don't know if there was rust that happened here or a battery that burst or really exactly what's going on inside of there. But all in all, it's pretty decent inside of here. It did have an engine when I got it. I pulled the engine out. And that engine is right here. I know that engine's actually in very good shape. That's over here. That's the engine that we pulled out of that car in Indiana. So I don't know if I'm going to throw this engine back in it or that engine back in it or how I'm going to go about doing this just yet. But either way, I plan on fully taking the engine all the way apart, cleaning it, repainting the block, the brackets, putting new plugs in it, resealing everything, make sure it's hunky-dory and nice and dry. And I'm going to start in the back and work my way forward. I know that probably seems a little bit backwards. You think, oh, just dump an engine in it and get her ripping and fix everything you need. But I'm going to go ahead and drop the gas tank, clean everything out, do the rear brakes, change the rear axle seals, and kind of work my way forward with it and get everything done rear to front that it's going to need. And then when I get ready for the front end of it, then I'll drop an engine and a transmission in it. So I'm not 100% certain what I'm going to tackle, how far I'm going to go, whether it's going to be like drop the rear axle and paint it or, you know, do anything crazy like that. So I guess we'll kind of wing it and see what happens. But for now, let's just drop the rear gas tank and see how it looks and hope it's okay. Because I don't really have another gas tank. I mean, I do, but I don't. So back here, it's really not looking the most pretty, all things considered. It's not bad though. It's definitely been sitting on gravel since 2003. So, and then it went from where it sat initially for well over 10 years to my place for a couple years sitting on dirt. So really not good for the underside, sadly. So we might give this a little quick spurt of rust converter and wash everything and give it a quick coat of paint just to kind of protect it a little bit. But anyway, enough yakking, let's get this gas tank pulled. I came up here to go disconnect the connection right up here for the fuel sending unit. I forgot how many parts came with this car. There is so much stuff in here. There's fuse panels, glove box, washing fluid bottles, another bezel, speaker grills, all kinds of stuff in here. There's a shifter right here, and the shifter looks actually pretty nice. So maybe this will be the one that I use in it. Man, this thing just has piles and piles and piles of parts that I completely forgot about. So I guess that's nice. There's a drive shaft. Here's that little underhood shock, which these things I don't think are ever good, and there went one of the bushings. So that's nice. Anyway, for real now this time to get this stupid fuel tank out. There's the skid plate with some gas. Now is the tank. No more ask it nicely. And out comes this tank. All right, out comes this tank. So I'm gonna go clean it off and see how everything looks on the inside. Fingers crossed it's all right. Okay, so I'm officially back from the quarter wash. This thing cleaned up pretty good, I won't lie. I'm very, very happy. I don't know how well these are gonna come off, but we're gonna go ahead and find out right about now. I'm gonna check underneath this, see how the tank looks on the inside, and then go from there. First bolts came out free. Bolt number 1. Bolt number 2. Bolt number 3. Bolt number 4. Bolt number 5. Oh. Whew. Oh boy. Clean the threads off on those. Whew. Last bolt. Last but not least. I think we're good. Ah, yes. Success. Ugh. Well, it doesn't look great, but I've definitely seen worse. In fact, I've pulled worse out, so I think we can clean this up and resalvage this. Might have to do a little bit of grinding on here, sanding on here. I think we can make this work. Now, the real question is, how does the tank look on the inside? You guys will be the first to see because I'm using you for my eyes. Oh, that's not too shabby. No way, that's not bad at all. We'll clean this up a little bit. I think that'll be good to go. This is one of my bigger worries, I won't lie, about this whole car. Was the tank. How nasty it might be on the inside, because tanks are almost impossible to find, and these are also pretty hard to find. So, thankfully, there's somebody that does remake these, so in case I ever need one, they are available on eBay, but everything else is scarce. So, I think I'm gonna pull all these out. I'm probably gonna rinse this thing out, pull the drain plug out, and I'm gonna reseal it, put it all back together. I think I'll be good to go, which makes me very happy. I was very nervous about this part, so it's a huge sigh of relief. I think that's all for me today. Really appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see what happens next with this old girl. So you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you later. Adios.